I saw that we crossed the time. Good morning, Rodrigo. Can you hear us? Very happy to see you here. Very happy to be here with you. You can also unmute and speak. Yesterday there was like a new movie that we watched for a couple of minutes, and after a while, it's quite a long movie, like almost 3 hours. And I said, okay, let's take 5 because the movie. So you just, how do you say, passively susceptible, yes, to what is happening. So it's kind of boring just to watch a movie. So this moment of peace or silence or not doing, they are much very cherishable, yes, say, because you wait for this moment to be. This is a very, very holy moment. So there is no running away from the moment, but just be in the moment, and it's really, really amazing. Rodrigo, Felipe, Fernando, you are most invited to speak or to say or to share. Rodrigo, if you can speak yesterday about the meeting that you have, or Fernando or Felipe.
I can speak it. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I can.
I just changed something here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yes. This it. Um, I was thinking about some. I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
if I may. Um, I don't know if I will be able to frame it, and so if I am too I was thinking about this contemplational state of being that we are discussing very often, of non-doership, and um, do not take literally the words of Torah, and something that comes, it's that this state of, it's like deconstructing Torah, and just trying to go to the inner meanings, and accessing the Hebrew letters and the words, and many let's say instruments that we can approach to this book of life in a non uh, linear, in a non to access this let's say this state of being, of approaching Torah without literal meaning. Uh, I think that there is a need for like a background, let's say a cultural background. We cannot access it, deconstruct it, if we do not know, let's say, the literal meaning, if we do not have some basic cultural background and relations, and I was just thinking about this, and what do you think about it? If
You,
it is needed,
you,
some cultural background.
I don't think so. It doesn't seem that it needs any background because it was before, like in this Song of Those. Yes, before we came to be. Yes, because the being is the situation. This is what occurring all the time, or is all the time. And cultural background is something which is being built upon. Like we say, it comes to me now, what is being? Asher en Asherah. Yes? Not Baal en Asherah. You remember that we were mentioning it? Not Baal en Asherah. This is like becoming or making. Asher en Asherah, this is being. There was a pottery from Sinai Desert. I remember that I shared this with Fernando when you were learning this passage in the Zohar in Brazil. So there was like a description on a pottery of like life as it is in a flow. So life as it is in a flow is Asher and Asherah, because Asher is also happy. Yes, Asher. And Asherah, this is his, so to speak, companion. So there is no need in cultural background, I think, for this. It's just being. You know, sometimes you see like indigenous or Indians, they're sitting and smoking a pipe of peace, yes, together in a tent or so. Just sitting and just suddenly the fingers are moving on the guitar and something is coming. And this is being. It's not that something that the frontal mind is occupied with. It's not so much processing information or linearly trying to get somewhere. It's not of receiving or of perspectives or none all of this. It's a prime to everything. There's no demands. There's not should, could, and all of this. No judgment there. You can only describe it in a way using a negative or negation. It's not demanding. It's not judging. Yes, it's not counting. This just is. And in this being, there is no, how do you say, lingering or remorse or dwelling on the past, on equivalating this moment to the past or to the future, and not calculating how many days the war is happening, or because there are many calculations that can appear in the moment. You know? It just, this is emptiness, which is empty, not just empty in the terms of English, but Chaf is free. Chaf, we say Chaf me'ashma. We say he is not guilty. In English, we say he is not guilty. Yes, not guilty. In Hebrew, Chaf me'ashma, it comes from Yachef, like bare, like barefoot from guilty. So this moment is Chaf. In what does it mean, Chaf? It is like undressed, without shoes, without masks. It's just being. It's just clear being. Even without senses, I would say. Even without the input of the senses. So much so. And this is the freedom. This is some people access it like, oh, we are usually when we are in deep sleep, because in deep sleep the frontal brain is off, and there's just like, let's say, this beat of life, like buzz, just the system, the heart, is beating, and there's no perception, and there's no senses engaged or so. So it is a very close to deep sleep. But still, if you hold a guitar or something, or just suddenly something is happening, is moving through, because in a way there is no, how do you say, the brain is not occupied with some kind of calculation or a thought, or I should, or like linear, I should be in the other city. So there is, the frontal brain is not occupied, so there is no guard, because the frontal brain with its calculation is like a wall or like a guard. Yes. So since the wall is not there, so something new can come all the time. Yes. Just to give us an example. Hello, Abigail. Very good to see you, and we are happy for your books. Just to give you an example. When you see a movie, even for a few moments, just happened last night, the new movie about Napoleon, a historical figure, let's say, very famous director made it. Once you're looking at the movie, the eyes are engaged, and so the senses. So you're occupied. Your frontal brain is occupied with the visualizations, with the plots of what's happening there, and so. So if the frontal brain is occupied, it means the attention in a way goes outside to the world, to the screen, to the text, the music, whatever comes from there, and it suggests to the system that the world is there on the screen where the movie is happening. And there's also comment from what is happening on the screen, so on. So in a way there's two. Yes? There's the one who is watching the movie, and the movie is on the screen. So there's relations, like dualistic relation. And regardless of who it is, who is watching and the movie. And the frontal brain is quite occupied and happy because you gave him a bone. Yes, like for a dog. Yes. But I didn't like it. Not because it's boring, it's because it's not life. Yes? Just give you an example. To a cat, you cannot give a puppet. To a dog, you can offer a puppet and he can play with the puppet, but not for a cat. A cat will not take it as a game because the cat is programmed to relate to something in life, like a bird. She's a hunter, the cat. And in a way, the brain likes, like a dog likes bones, and it shatters. It locks everything up, and it is like dead. It is like dead. Like I feel when I watch a movie, I'm dead. How can I say that? Just dead. And once the turning off the episode or part of the movie, and then you go and just do something, and there's a movement, drinking or something, and then it is again generated. Again, there's like somebody took a stone from the well, and there's again streaming of life. This is how it feels. And most of people are seeing movies all the time. So in a way, most of the occupation of seeing movies just to put more and more blocks on life as it comes, because people are afraid from this moment. What do you mean to sit and just let the moment comes to you? People will tell you, what? You don't have plans for the 5-10 years or so? So it was just a great relief when this it just ended. I mean, after 53, I mean, I could not take it any longer. For some people, they look for movies to watch more and more and more movies, and for me, it's like death sentence. And it is amazing. After this, it just went. I mean, this movie just, we stopped it, and I just continued drinking something, coming, and you just come and to, let's say, a notebook, and suddenly you feel the freedom of not having this this block in front of you, just the occupation of being occupied with something which is not existing at all, but it just neutralize you. And suddenly there's a freedom, there's no movie, you can suddenly, wow, the air is next to you, it's just something so alive, the air around. Only in the corona people notice there's a, hello Ogbai, people notice the importance of air. Yes, everybody's looking through telescope, wise telescope, to see the next galaxy or the next black hole. Look for the missing component of God in matter. Yes, but nobody noticed that the air around us is radiates with the divinity, everything. So it is always this not yearning, but this encounter with this air that holds everything in it. This is the air that holds everything in it. The air, the emptiness. Because the relation is always to the object. There's a tree, yes, there's a street, there's a school. But the air, yes, is the sphere when everything is being presented on. So there's always like, there's the inner wishing is all the time to be surrounded by fresh air and by nothingness or by emptiness, not with something, because people always, there's a sense that there's a need to hunt for something, because otherwise, if I will not be occupied of hunting of the next thing, I shall have to deal with this emptiness, with this nothingness. So there's all the time constant running from city to city, from vacation to vacation, just to go linear 400 kilometers, 600 kilometers to Europe, to wherever. And the more it is interesting, because in a way, in this situation of this constant how do you say, constant attacks, rocket attacks, all kinds of attacks, drones, that there's no need to count them or to even give them names, just constant, yes. So there is, in a way, a focus, and it is the moment, and the air around is most important. And this is the basic of life. Yanis, good evening. Yes, Rodrigo. Yes, Rodrigo.
Hello, Eti.
Hello,
Good
good
morning.
morning. How do you do?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And how are you, Eti?
Good to be here with you. Very good.
Thank you very much. It's always nice to hear you also and be here with our friends. Eti,
Yes,
when you talk about the experience of watching a movie,
yeah,
you talk about this separation, this duality,
yes,
the spectator and the movie, right?
yes,
This state of lethargy or something like that, passivity that
yes,
the move
yes,
demand us. Yes, I believe that the difference between watching a movie and contemplating the nature, for example, is the fact that in contemplation you are part of the holy, you are part of the image
yes,
of the you are in the the you are integrated with this nature.
yes, yes,
But what is the difference, in your opinion, between watching a movie and contemplating a painting, for example? We, in our classes, many times we talk about paintings or reading a book or listen to music. What's the difference? Why in a movie we be so lethargic? You say it's like that, you are dead seeing that picture. What's the difference? And I also remember when you are talking, um, I remember the word witness, aids with Ayn and Dalit. We are testimony of the creation of God. And I don't know if you could talk about a little about this, open this perspective. I don't know if you understand. uh, what I try to say is the difference between watching a movie and contemplating a painting, for example, or reading a book. If you could
yeah.
open this much more, I appreciate. Thank you very much, Eti.
You're most welcome. The difference is air or space, because when we are reading, let's say, a book, so yes, there's the eyes of the reader reads the letters, and between them there is in a way space, or between the words there is space, and because the plot or the happening in the book is not um, only in the written text. Most of the plot is being generated in our minds in the space that between the eyes and the text. Do you understand? So reading is amazing because it's not what only the author writes, or let's say the sentence is built, or the text is the most interesting part is not the reading, but what is happening while reading the text. This is the first one of the first verse of Genesis, and the Spirit of God is hovering above the face of the water, because what happens is when the eyes, in a way, the Spirit is hovering above the letters, we don't just read the sentence, but something else, completely else is happening. Not just the line itself. Yes, you will create and build together with the author. Yes, this is it. This is reading is a very creative, very creative process. Reading, also looking at a picture with friends, because there's conversation, there's air. People are, yes, it's visualizing, yes, but each one visualize or see or gets a different input, and there is a conversation about it, moves. It's creative happening. Movie is to put somebody to sleep in a coffin. This is my impression. It is, and the how do you say, from time to time the screens are getting greater. If you remember, once there was TV of 23 inch, 20. Now it's like 40 inch. Some people have half of a wall. It's something like cancer that holds the whole front brain occupied, that you will never have a moment of air of creativity. This is it. I'm running from movies like fire. Sometimes I see it's sometimes, but I cannot tell you that it gives me. I cannot tell you that it is there's a peace in the heart while watching movies. I cannot tell you that. Just can't. It's like I look at it like a guard that some people will give you different perspectives. It's not this is just what comes to me in the moment, so I share. Some people have different perspectives about movies. But I feel like one step before putting somebody in a casket or a coffin. This is how it comes to me. Because it closes all the other possibilities that are possible to happen in open air. So I'm waiting for this emptiness, and like someone who needs air. So of course you'll look for air and emptiness. This life is not that long. Nobody knows, nobody knows, We experience this few times per day, you'd never know. And people are like to, funnel or panel bricks, yes, of movies in the, so to speak, emptiness of life that they experience, and try to shelter themselves from this emptiness. But the more life progresses, and we can see it's not really clear when is the next moment or what will happen or who will, So the more the truth is banging on the door, and it bangs every day, several days, and at night. So, and you sense it might be the last moment, So you don't want to waste your time in jail. I don't wish to spend time in jail. We don't know how much is left. So you would like to be free in the open. Free in the open is reading or writing, sit with the guitars, sitting with friends, sitting with you. This is freedom. I don't want to be a prisoner of a stupid director or a running camera of a juvenile producing a movie and send it to Netflix. I don't want to be a prisoner. Why should I be? Yes, Yanis. The text is filled with many different things together. So to open it, you have to look into each component by itself. Watching movie is a passive experience. It's experience is supposed to close you down for any kinds of input. A segregation moment. I don't wish to experience a segregation. In most of life, not many countries experience this sense of trying to kill you 24/7. When you live abroad, there is no sense of an immediate danger, let's say, or trying to kill you all the time. So people sit and they feel like, wow, there's nothingness, and how can I feel the time? There's a beautiful movie by, I think it doesn't come to me the name, but a British actors, how he's so bored of, I think it was made in the 90s, how he's so bored in the 30s, in his 30s, he's already bored from life and how to feel the time, you know, because so people are filling the time with more and more pleasures and more vacations and more cars and more decadence. But this is not the situation here. Life is very precious, and every moment it can be opposite. So why to be occupied to spend the last moment in jail? Why to spend the last moment of life in jail? If just a question to everyone who can hear, if a person have the next, I don't know, 5 seconds or 10 minutes in his life, why should he spend them on watching a movie? Probably people would not do it if they had a notion this is the last 5 seconds in their lives. Probably they would not do it. Why to watch life like the serpent? Yes, to watch life. This is the perspective of the serpent. To watch life and to seem to have a control about life than to live life. Like Rodrigo offered before. To contemplate it in nature is a different experience than to watch a movie. That you think that you would know, that you think, and you don't know who shot the movie, who plays in the movie, even if you have the names. I find those things like to go into sewage, you know, not to a swimming pool or to a river, to deep or to base, just to go into the sewage deep and come back. This is how it feels to me. I cannot lie about it. Many people might have different perspectives, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to me. And it doesn't come again from religious, because you're here, you know, we speak almost 3 conversations per week and more in the text, and so it doesn't come from religious perspective at all. It's just from the notion that it might be the last moment, so why to jail myself in willingly? Why? I would like to inhale fresh air that comes from the sea, that the palm is moving in the wind, the bird that came to rest in the windowsill. And then people are complaining or saying, yeah, something like, give you an example. Amuse themselves. This is how people speak about themselves. Yes, I amuse myself with this idea that one day I will write a book. Yes, but this is not how you write a book, by speaking about it. Yes? Or amuse yourself with sentences in public, like you. Writing a book is not a little thing. It demands a lot of effort and concentration and determination. I think I might direct a movie. I'm a director, I'm a producer, you know? I like freedom, and freedom is all the time comes with the truth. So the more you look for freedom, the more you look for truth. And when the truth is banging on the door every day that you might be dead or gone after one moment, why to occupy yourself with nonsense? Why? So you just deal with the basic things in life, the baked bread and what is necessary for home, and like home tasks, and so what is needed. And this is it. And if there's a text or music, we record it, we put it on Discord, and this is it. It is quite simple. It is so simple. I really appreciate those conversations with you, because it's not that with everyone we can open those topics or speak about them freely. Any thoughts or things to share? You're most welcome. It happened just yesterday. There were like few attacks. I don't even count them. No. Just I was in the kitchen. There was preparing supper, and suddenly again another. You have to go to the, how do you say it, security room. You have to stop everything, and you have to go. Just a few moments before, just the thinking, it just crossed me that, oh, thank God, this is life, and A, B, C, D happened, and thank you. And if this is it, this is it. So some people, maybe most of the people of the resident, or maybe most of the residents of this planet, do not experience such a threat on life every few hours, every few minutes, every few seconds. So there's the brain, which is, or the system of nervous system, is not occupied with the sense of jumping. Yes, like this is what we do. We run, we jump to take a refuge, yes, when it comes. Because sometimes there's a sound of a siren, sometimes the bombing are coming before the siren, sometimes there are all kinds of bombs. From the sea, there's air raid, there's a sea raid, there's all kinds of drone raids, there's a drone within a drone that explode. There are all kinds of things and intricate ways to kill people. People of the world are not aware of this because I believe that most of the people did not grow in this surrounding. So usually like animals, if there's a threat to the system, to the biological system, you respond. Yes, you hide, you take refuge, because there's a threat of life. And it gives you a very, how do you say, accurate scale. What is pro-life, what is against life? There's no people who live here from all kinds of countries. They have the sense, life or death is on the thread. But in most of the countries in the world, civilization progress to such degrees that they try to isolate or to protect people from this threat. There are systems, yes, of health systems and education systems, and all of those things are sorted in their way to enable longer life, yes, and good life. But something happens in the process that people are not coming in contact with real threat on life. And the system is not working to protect. It is disabled because everything is protected by the system. So the biological system is not challenged, and the brain still, it is working to act in the case of a trouble or anxiety or a threat, but it's not, because civilization is trying to protect us. So, and then the brains invent all kinds of things, because if on a daily basis you are a target for killing, why shall I see horror movies that are trying to emulate the sense? If 10 times per day somebody's trying to shoot you and to kill you, why shall you see in your free time, if you have or survive those moments, why would you see in your free time a horror movie? Or trying to kill some other people at night, because this is what is happening here at night. Why should I have to see this in a movie? I don't need a movie to see this. This is my life. Or this is our life here. Do you see the point? Or not? So in places when there is no threat about life, people are occupying themselves in horror movies, and because they're bored or they feel there's something in it. But they don't have the contact with killing or with threats or with knifing or with bombing, rockets, grenades, whatever, ballistics. So they feel something, tell them that there is a threat for life, but they don't come with it. They don't have a contact to it. So they look for it because something telling them this is not real life, pleasure and leisure, and they look for it in the movies. But excuse me, we are living here, and I don't need to see this in a movie. You can feel it every moment in the air when you're here. And there's a beautiful verse in the Bible that says, "Uvacharta b'chaim," and you will choose life, or you chosen life, like Ruth. To choose life. The Torah is Ruth. Torah is the same letters to choose life. So choose life, choose air, emptiness, and simple life. It's quite simple. And to have this is a beautiful I think I read it at Thomas Mann, one of those things that Jacob, and this is a very good, how do you say, a guideline, to live every day as the last day and be complete with it. That every day is the last day and it's complete. Yes? This is how we live life, every day like it was the last day. So of course you'll not sleep at night, and if you have some kind of an idea, you'll sit and you write it and you play the guitar along or so. It might be the last day. So the relation is different. There's a beautiful example that once I gave. A friend told me about what they do to tomatoes, like the farmers. There is a plant or bush that's supposed to give the fruit of tomatoes, but 7 or 8 or 10 days before, they intentionally dry the bush or the plant of tomatoes. Intentionally they do it, they dry it, they don't water it, and the plant feels stress because it doesn't get any water. So from stress, the stress system tells the plant that he's supposed to die because it's dry, it doesn't get water. And from stress, and the notion that the system tells the planet, the mind tells the planet that he's going to die, he shoots so many tomatoes, and very, very sweet tomatoes, because there is a sense of threat. So the best fruit comes because there is a sense of stress and dryness. This is for us was an example to explain the name Yitzchak 4 letters, but the sages are taking the 4 and they create a new combination. Ketz Chai, when the end is alive. Yitzchak, it means he shall laugh. Yes, Isaac, he shall laugh, Yitzchak. But the sages, they always take the 4 letters, the art of combinations, and they create a new combination. And from the combination, Yitzchak, he shall laugh, they create Ketz Chai, when the end is alive. So there is a sense of end here, that life's supposed to end every moment. But with the sense that life's supposed to end every moment, there's a lot of vitality. Chai, it means alive, vitality. There's a lot of liveliness comes with it. So the end, we feel the end. We feel the end. Nobody can tell you that he or she does not feel the end every moment. We feel the end, but the end is alive. And not just that the end is alive, but at the end there is what? Laughter. Laughter of this illusion which people call life. Any questions or thoughts and things that you would like to share? I see Jill is here. Hello, Jill. We're very happy to see you. Yes, I see what you're writing. You don't have to think during a movie, so it is a sort of like, yes. Yeah, Luke is here. I see that you're here too on YouTube. Good to see you. Yes. Yes. Today, few moments before class, there were 2 bombing sounds that the glasses at home, they move, the windows, they moved like, and I said, what is it? And Andra checked, because we have this application that tells whether they're bombing, drones, or whatever, and sirens, and it says it doesn't appear in the application of that our area is bombed, nor there is like what is coming, missile or whatever. But there was such 2 high sound of bombing that the house was shaking, and there was no reflection in the application. So we don't know whether it's the marine or they took something above the sea, and we just hear the echo, the resonance of, we don't know. We don't know what will be the next moment, or if. So this is a great advice that I think I read it in the Midrash, that Jacob lived his life every day like if it was the last day. And if there's like gain, a lottery, there's another hour or another moment. But when we live the coming day or the current day as the last day, you would like to live it as the most free that you can. There is no boredom. There's always something which is happening, and happiness. Happening, also happiness, yes? Because why people are not happy? Because they are disabling and shut the happening. The happening is happy. It's simple. But people are shutting the happenings. They're shutting the happiness. They're shutting the happenings. They want to plan everything and to block the happening. Because the happening does not come from us. It comes from the source. So, and this is what the old Greeks are mentioning. When we are aligned with the source, or one with the source, the happening is just happening, and we are happy with whatever comes with the happening, not judging it. And this is a great happening, to be one with what is happening. and to accept what is happening. Some people, they establish all kinds of, riots against the weather and against whatever. If you go against something, it means you don't accept it. Accept it. Can we live life in another way but accepting it? By the way, Kabbalah is not just to receive, but also to accept. To accept life as it comes in the moment. Because what comes in the moment, the happening, is the happiness of the moment. Be happy with the moment. It's not of a making. It's not mechanical. We say be happy. Yes, it's not of a making. With what is happening, and there's all the time a flow of life. All the time. It never stops. It's not dependent on man's doing. So, dears, it's time to drink some water. So, thank you so much for being here with us. I would like to wish all of us a very creative, beautiful, and happy life. And please be with us if you can the next Thursday, God's will, or in the next coming hours and days, whenever you want to tweet, to exchange, to share your creativity, musical, poetry, painting, whatever comes to you. We are very happy. Toda and Shalom.